Formula One's about family and Coronas.
And share around this podcast to anyone you think who might like it, or to punish anyone who would hate it just from having a few more inches.
Wow, I got a couple of inches.
God, don't ever do that again.
Welcome, everybody, to the idiots of F1. Welcome to Miami. What a shit show
Miami
on the
it is.
weekend. Oh, man. If you haven't heard of us before, we are the idiots of F1, here to give all you idiots a guide to the Formula One racing. Whether you are a newbie, you're just a Drive to Survive fan, or you're an old tech head who just needs a change with a lot of unabashed opinions and controversy we'll be talking about on and off the track. We are just three mates who have a big love of F1, and we are here to talk to you all about it today. Over on my right, all the way from the United States of America, a man who started as the reserve driver of Idiots of F1, who is now a fully fledged member of the podcast. We got Taylor Sawyer.
Oh, God. Don't ever do that again.
A musician from the local hood of Sydney. He likes acoustic guitar and drinking beer. We got Ethan Locke.
You can't see me, but I'm sheepishly waving to the crowd.
Oh my God, DeVries's fucking walk-in was awful.
I give LL Cool J a fist bump.
How are you? How are you guys? Tay, I didn't ask you how you were, mate. How was your weekend?
It was good. Just busy with working on the missus's business, but all good on that front.
And how is that
Yes.
business going? Do you want to give us a little...
Oh, it's been going great. We just had a big spring fair market in a place called Carlsbad, which is North County, San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
It's regarded as one of the biggest markets in all of the US. It's like over 100,000 people.
Wow.
Did you go to the Caverns?
Go to the what?
The Caverns. Isn't it Carlsbad Caverns?
They have caverns there?
Yeah, it was in The Simpsons.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
I could
Oh,
tell
like,
you.
oh, we want to go. Oh, we were going to go to the Carlsbad Caverns.
Nah. I don't even know, man. You know
Cut
more
that out,
about
man.
it than I am.
This is
Yeah.
terrific
What's
content
the
right
name
now.
of the candle business again?
Laloon.
Laloon. Not asking
Yeah,
for
but
me.
we don't need to
asking
plug.
for the fans. Asking for
Yeah,
the fans, mate.
We don't need to plug it. I can't ship to Australia.
Hey, you
At the
said you
moment.
could. You said you could. What's going on?
Oh yeah, like on a family and friends.
Oh, right. Well, just
Yeah,
DM
not
them on
a-
Instagram. I'm
yeah,
sure they
yeah.
can sort something out.
For
Well,
sure.
mate, I got to be honest. I thought Miami was quite an entertaining weekend. Let's start with a few of the talking points. Like, we're getting right into it today because we've got a lot to go over because there was just so much shit going on over in Miami. I've never seen such an overindulgent spectacle in a parking lot in a highway in my life. First of all, let's talk about the track. Now, we saw Leclerc run off in qualies. It felt like people were struggling to get a grip on this track, Ev. What's going on with the Miami circuit? Why is it so hard to just push the limit on this track?
So it was this last year was the first year at Miami. It has since been completely relayed, which beggars the question: why did it not happen last year? But so anyway, when you relay asphalt, all the oil and imperfections that are in it kind of come to the surface. So it takes a few years for asphalt to become a really good
Settled.
Yeah, a good track and that it settles. So what we saw on this weekend was up until before the race, that was the first racing that had ever been done on that track. So there's no rubber. Nothing was on the racing line to help the cars.
Yeah.
And then we saw that night was apparently torrential rain, which washes all the rubber off of the surface. So then come race day, there was, again, no rubber on the surface. So it was just a bit... it's just a bit shitty, really. It's, as they say in Formula One engineering, it was suboptimal.
Suboptimal. And how did you find the actual weekend itself? I should have asked that before we cracked into the details.
The
What did you actually
technicalities.
what did you two think of, starting with Ev, what did you think of the weekend as a whole?
I think the ground itself, the autodrome, was really impressive. I thought it looked really good compared to last year, where it really looked like a car park. This year it looked like a properly settled track. I really liked how they used the stadium interior, like the pitch for the Homestead facilities. They were meant to have fans in there, but I guess nobody told the fans that they could go in there. But the fans were meant to be in there on so that they'd be in the stands cheering on the drivers as they come out of the homesteads and things like that. Yeah. That didn't really happen. But that's a cool idea. If you had 10,000 fans in there, if that was Silverstone, it would have been packed.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
People wanting autographs and shit like that. And so that's a shame. But that's a really good idea. So that was much better utilised than it was last year. I still don't like the track.
I don't like it. I don't love it either, especially that back half.
It looks like it'd be a good track, to be fair. The layout of it looks good, but then in practice, that little zigzag before that really long straight.
The back straight.
It's off camber, which means that it's angled away from the corner. So when the cars dive into it, they're kind of getting spat out the other side, which makes it equally hard, which you don't really need. It's hard enough as it is. How are we going to get two cars fighting if you're... as we saw in practice and qualifying, loads of cars were missing that that apex. I think it was Hulkenberg nearly wrecked his car there. He did a little pirouette that managed
Russell fucked it.
Yeah, so
he was on three wheels for a period.
It's a bit weird why some of those decisions they've made.
And Tay, what do you think?
So I was
any initial thoughts?
What's the attitude in the States?
Oh, yeah, because I speak to so many about it. To be honest, it's one of those things where all on paper it sounds like a really great idea and it looks like it would be a lot of fun. But in the end of the day, as they've said, when it all comes down to the weekend, it's not really about the race itself. It's about all the other spectacles. Yeah. And it's a real shame because... as they've said, it could be a really good track. There's scope there. It also feels like it could be a very different track in 3 to 5 years' time. When you think about it, because it's growing pains right now, and they've already made improvements from where it was last year. They'll make improvements from where it is this year, next year, and so forth. So I think it could be an amazing track in the years to come, but right now it's just it's adolescent.
It's not a pretty track. I know we always make that joke about it being in a car park and stuff, but the surroundings aren't
the fucking freeways going over the top of it.
And even I think Ev, you mentioned there's a lack of grandstands. I did see a TikTok of a guy who was at one of it was one of the big long corner, which looks... His view was basically just looking at the expensive cabanas with the pools, and you saw about
just being told what you couldn't afford.
I always talk about Silverstone. You can only see so much of the track, but at least you get 10 to 20 seconds of the race. This guy had vroom, and that was it. $3,000 for that seat.
Yeah.
At least you got to see Charles crash.
Yeah. I don't want this scene anymore.
And that I bet happened in slow-mo.
Speaking of the fan experience, I saw a few tweets about the food. Did you guys see anything about the food?
Yeah, I saw that. That was disgusting.
So not only did the food look like shit, I'm not sure how doctored that photo was, because it said it was a Wagyu beef sandwich, but I didn't see any beef on it. It
looked like ham. It was just ham.
Yeah. It was $45 or something like that. No, $450 for a salad, but now
for four people.
It was for 4 people, but that's still $115 for a fucking salad. Now, to be clear, a salad is a couple of vegetables and things, and maybe some meat.
It's wet lettuce.
Hold up, are you seriously explaining to our listeners what a fucking salad is?
Well, can you define a salad? Do you know exactly what a salad is?
A salad is a salad. Everyone knows what a salad is.
Define it.
It's
define it.
Well, they didn't there. They didn't
it's
at
with
the Formula
leafy
1.
greens.
Caterers.
It doesn't have to be leafy greens. We've had this discussion before. It just
When
has
did
to
we
have
have
two.
this discussion?
It just has to have two different ingredients, either of fruit or vegetables.
Get
Even-
fucked.
you can
That
even
is not the.
That's it. That's
that
all
is
it is.
not the description of salad.
Look it up right now. You Wikipedia that while I continue to talk. Description of a salad. You can have a meat salad. It's just beef and lamb or something.
Don't tell me about your Saturday
it
night.
Generally, yeah, it says lettuce.
That's what your mum gave me last night.
My point being is that they really stretch it like, this is the most basic salad, $450. $450. Now, I have no problem gouging those who couldn't give a shit about the race and they're just there to eat and drink. So I didn't really have a huge problem with
Looking
that.
at you, LL.
Yeah. Apparently there are plenty of cheap options
And
too.
Will I
That
Am.
was just an example of some of the
All right,
expensive
here it
stuff.
is. Sorry, coming back to it.
Yep.
A cold dish of various mixtures of raw or cooked vegetables, usually seasoned with oil, vinegar, or other dressing, and sometimes accompanied by meat, fish, or other ingredients.
All right, there you have it, folks. That's we'll send that to the Miami track so they
Taste
get it right.
tips.
In quotes, a green
tips.
salad.
Right, so the grid walk, I was ready for really another cringy grid walk, just because last year we all remember was so bad. I thought Martin
Every grid
really
walk is.
made up for it this year. He was well prepared. I don't know how many times he must have said people who think they're
Oh,
celebrities.
that was brilliant. He was ruthless. I loved it. I loved him. I love how awkward and cringe. He reminds me of David Brent from The Office.
Yeah.
In ways, and how, like, even the guys are coming up to him, it's like, I love you, Martin, I love you. It's like, now, and who's the basketball player that he forgot his name or got his name wrong and then
Pablo.
actually
got
called
it
him
right.
out on it?
I can see what must have happened last year. Someone in his headpiece has gone, go up and speak to Pablo. And he's heard, part sports star? It must be Patrick Mahomes or something.
Yeah.
I reckon he's just misheard as opposed to him being casually racist.
And can we also say how awesome it was with Jackie?
That was
The
so
fact,
cute.
oh my God, that was amazing.
Do you
And the
want
fact that
to
he just
tell
walked
everyone what
straight
happened in
through.
case they missed it?
Basically, Roger Federer was all cordoned off, dealing with some. I don't know who he was.
It was like
talking to
roped
or
off
why
and it was
he
about 10
it was
meters
roped
away
off.
from where they were.
Yeah. And so Martin Martin was fighting with the crowd to get through everybody. Obviously, he's quite a shortish man, so he was like, nothing but shoulders. And so he's making his way through. It's like, oh, what's all the fuss going over here? It's like, oh, it's Roger Federer. And it's like, oh, I wonder if we'll be able to get a chat to him. And then he sees Jackie there and he's going off there and he's like, hey, Jackie, blah, blah, blah. And they're having a chat. And then Jackie's like, all right, I'm going to go over there and get him for you. And so he just ducks underneath the rope and the security guard tries to stop him. And then the other one, and then he tells his colleague, security guard, to go, no, you can't let him through. And then he tries to block him. And Jackie's like, fuck off, mate. And just...
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah. Need the cunt.
He's
And
a
then
Glaswegian, isn't he?
yeah, and then grabbed
bouncer's
Federer,
lucky.
kept on grabbing his hand and stuff, and then Russell comes over, tries to, hugging it out like they've been mates for, decades, and then Jackie's like, fuck off, Russell, and then and brings over Federer to speak to Martin, while Martin's still behind the ropes.
Yeah. Roger, we'd just like to let you come over and talk to this civilian who's not allowed
Yeah,
through
yeah.
here. His
I
media
know.
pass doesn't have this kind of access.
This thing is actually, this is what's bullshit, right? Because you would have thought with obviously Drive to Survive and it's allowed F1 to be so mainstream now, but then also with the amount of races now in the US, everyone should know who the fuck Martin is and that he is one of the go-to people going around the grid and talking to people.
There's no excuse.
No one should be blocking him from talking to, and the fact that he's like, oh, I've already been told that I'm allowed to go up to Tom Cruise, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So who do you get in America, Tate? Is it on ESPN?
No, I get
the
Sky. No, I get Sky. That's why I'm able to see all that. I get to.
Oh, right.
It's televised all through that. It's
Right,
through
yeah.
ESPN.
So really, he
but
should
it's still
have
through
access
Sky
to
Sports.
everyone on that grid. Like, there's no reason he shouldn't be allowed to go and walk over to. That's probably why Jackie Stewart did it. He's like, yeah, this is
100%.
bullshit. I'll make sure
Yeah.
he talks.
Yeah,
to
that's
you.
right. Everybody
with his
knows
flat
Martin
brim.
Yeah.
in the
flat
world
cap.
of Formula One. But if you're a
Exactly.
celebrity and you don't even know Formula One at any rate, I'm sure that Roger Federer does to some
Yeah,
degree.
Roger would know.
for
Otherwise,
sure.
Roger probably wouldn't have come over and talked to him.
But his American security guards wouldn't know.
No.
It's-
Oh, mate, any event you go to,
Well, they
security
should
guards
fucking know.
never know what's going on. I remember we played Falls Festival like 12 years ago. I'd never been to anything like it. And the whole first day, I'm walking around all the artists area, and I didn't even realize I didn't have a pass on. They never gave me my pass for our first day. So I shouldn't technically have been allowed to be anywhere. I walked everywhere, just going in and out, VIP areas. Not one person. Everyone's just like looked at me and was like, oh yeah, in
Eating
you go.
other people's food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do for the Vegas one. I'm gonna just put on a high vis jacket and carry a ladder and just walk the fuck in.
Well, they said about in
because it looks like I belong there.
In Australia, there was people, I think last year, who tried to get in by wearing a suit, like a driver's suit and a helmet.
Oh yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, no, I don't have my ID. I'm one of the drivers." Like,
the drivers.
And they were trying to get in because
surely
of that.
the helmet
Stig.
screams, "I'm not a part of this." 'Cause
No, because
around with a helmet on.
No, Lewis tried it once. He had to go around, and he came in through the
one of the pedestals.
the driver's entrance.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You can't come in." It's like,
He's like, I'm
but
a
it's
fucking
me.
driver, mate.
It's me. Like, he took his helmet off. It's like, yeah, but it's me. And they were like, no, I don't know who you are. Like, you could be anybody. Like,
How do you be I mean, that would be pretty impressive if you're like one of the drivers' doppelgangers. Out of the 6 billion plus people in the world, you happen to look like one of the drivers, and you just stroll right through.
I thought you were going to say, well, it's pretty ballsy that, well, I'm Lewis Hamilton.
Sir Lewis Hamilton.
I'm Lewis Hamilton.
Well, speaking of
No.
getting in and entering, let's talk about the drivers' entrances. This, I honestly could not stop laughing. So my perspective of this, and if you go back and listen to the way that LL Cool J introduces these people,
How much did he cost them?
Every introduction is like assuming that no one knew who these people were. Like, this is the guy that did this once, and it's like, yeah, we know, mate. We watched the F1. We know. You could just go Nick DeVries, and we're like, yeah, we know who that is. So it's clearly been made for people who don't watch the F1. But then at the same time, there are certain ones that were really almost insulting. So one in particular that I'm thinking of is Charles Leclerc walking in and is like, this guy was challenging for the championship in 2022. It's like,
Give it up.
For the one that was the first loser.
We're 5 races into the season. He's already not a contender for this year. And then watching Nick, you said it before, Tay, but watching Nick DeVries walk in, just head down, go, what is this shit? Let me through. Let me through.
I'm late for an appointment.
And Logan Sargent just had to say something because he said, it was all just so
He was the only one who
funny.
said anything. And then Max. So it was the guy who came last and the guy who came first.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just funny. Like you said, it's not for people who actually watch F1, which is annoying because I feel if they had done it for people who watch F1, you're more inclined for us to go, yeah, that was really cool. Like, I love that idea.
But all right, so based on that, how would they have done it for people who watch F1?
Rather than talk about things that are so obvious, talk about something more personal that we might have missed. Like, Charles Leclerc, like, I don't know, I think he said it, from Monaco, like a music enthusiast, blah, blah. Give me some personal points that we don't know about them.
Yeah,
Valtteri
right.
Bottas, huge in Australia now and loves to wear a fucking, I don't know.
It's the guy your girlfriend would leave you for. Charles Leclerc, everybody.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc.
Not like
For the baby dadder of
she would.
10 women.
Here's a guy that used to drive for Mercedes and used to be a really good driver and win things. Valtteri Bottas. Like, here's a reason that you should be... I don't know. It just all seemed a bit crap.
Yeah, Valtteri Bottas, the guy who's
He's
loved
richer
by
than
all
you.
Down
It's
under.
Lance Stroll. Here he comes. Oh, yeah.
We'll be
You
able
love to
get
hate
his
him.
Inheritance.
Oh, so, I don't know. Right idea, wrongly executed. I haven't really seen enough opinion on that online. I know a lot of the drivers didn't like it, and the only person who seemed to like
It was Lewis.
was Lewis because, like, he got a big hug, and it was like, if I was Charles Leclerc, I'd be fucking filthy. I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Well, I think that's why they were all filthy, because of how those introductions were naturally. That's probably why. Obviously, there was massive praise from LL to Lewis, hence why Lewis didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I don't know. Did Max say anything about
Yeah,
it?
Max didn't think it was necessary. I think a lot of the
Yeah.
drivers didn't like the idea of having to just wait around longer than they needed to.
Yeah.
They have all their their pre-game
kit
rituals,
on.
so to speak,
Yeah,
and this is
yeah.
very interruptive. So I think they'd have. I mean, I don't know where else you'd put it, but maybe you could just speed it up a bit. One thing I found funny was that will.i.am brought his whole orchestra there, who I'm pretty sure weren't playing. Now, I might be wrong, but in my experience with these things, it would be an overlaid track.
Did
it's-
he get retarded? Did he
It was
get
a
retarded?
Can't say that. You can't
it was
say
a
that.
bit. It was about
He said it!
10-minute intro, right? I'm pretty sure the song only went for like 20 seconds. So it just kept repeating and repeating. Like, did no one give him a brief? Like, look, we're going to go about 10 minutes. So if you can write a piece that could maybe last that 10-minute period,
No,
that'd be
you
great.
know why? You know why? That piece is like when he designed a Mercedes.
Explain.
Have you
I
not
know
seen
what
it?
he's
You've
talking
seen it,
about.
right?
No, I'm saying explain
is-
it. Explain it.
It's the equivalent of when Homer found his brother, and his brother had a car company, a design company, and he allowed Homer to design a car. That was the
And he's just
equivalent of
waving-
what
he's just
will.i.am
waving in the front
did
seat and
to a
spins
Mercedes.
Oh, no.
That was the equivalent of what he did.
Well, look, I didn't actually not enjoy it. I thought it was a really cool piece of
Homer.
music. I just noticed after a minute or two, it was repeating a lot. I was like, did he not think about... He didn't think this
But
through.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not pick up on that.
But
I'm not
yeah,
in tune
probably
that way
not.
towards.
I just was more
music.
interested. I was very interested in what he was doing because I was like, it's just a lot. A DJ could have just played the track; it would have been fine. It felt a
Yeah,
bit.
I didn't
like,
even know he was there orchestrating. I had no idea it was him
Definitely
until
didn't
the
need to
very
be there.
end.
They had their iPads there. Ev, what did you think of the entrances?
I skipped it and I just went straight to the racing.
All right. Well, that answers that then.
There you go.
Well, and now we'll
Did
skip
did
you.
you like the drive when they get in vintage cars and drive around the track and wave at people? How do they
Yeah.
do that? Everybody likes
that's
that.
fine with that.
No, but
I'm
they
fine
did
with
do it, and that was when Lewis was a vibe when he was just there in his moment.
I saw a TikTok of people suggesting how they can make the weekends more exciting without doing really ridiculous stuff. And then someone said, I want to see people running a lap of the track. But I reckon bring back the old run from the entrance point and everyone run to their cars on the grid and then drive off.
Oh, like Le
that's
Mans.
too
Yeah,
unsafe.
I would love that. That can be a fucking entrance.
Yeah.
Because
Holy
then
shit.
if you're
Who
useless,
would win that?
there would be so many crashes. It would be red flag immediately. Did you notice all the Fast and Furious stuff going on too? I guess that was like
Yeah,
a big
because
promo.
the movie comes out this month.
Yeah, they
That
could
would've
barely
cost a lot.
pull Vin Diesel off the track. And then they had the
Holy
intro of the
shit.
race was him and Michelle Rodriguez. It was like, this is so mental. Like, I don't
They look
think
like they
of
were
these
having
people
fun,
as
though.
race car. Yeah,
I
they
like
were.
that.
But like,
Yeah.
the promo, again, for people who don't care about racing. Because if you watch racing, you don't really look at Fast and the Furious actors and go, yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, like, I respect what they have to say
Formula
about
One's about
driving.
family and Coronas.
Did you hear his excuse why he didn't go in the car for the hot laps?
No?
So he was just like, I never
Oh, he
ride
doesn't
passenger.
drive. Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if he would have fit, to be fair. 'cause
No,
yeah,
I
they-
was thinking more that.
I saw a video of behind the scenes of a Rock, the Red Notice, was it Red something? And
yeah, with Ryan Reynolds and
yeah, there's a
The Rock,
scene
yeah.
where he's got one of those new Porsche electric cars. His character
yeah,
does,
the 918, yeah.
and the scene was like he has to get in it, and then it cuts to him getting out of it. And so he goes to they go action, and then The Rock walks towards the car, opens the door, and goes to get in, and his shoulders won't let him get in, so they have to cut. And in the film, it ends up being he opens the door, and then it cuts to him already in the car, and then it cuts to him arriving, and then it cuts to him opening the door, and then it cuts to him already out of the car. He doesn't actually, because he can't fit
Yeah.
in and so I reckon if it's a McLaren, I don't think Vin Diesel's gonna fit.
It was a McLaren.
Man,
yeah.
I told you I
Yeah.
saw the women's cars last year. I don't like you have to be a tiny, tiny person to. I don't know how George Russell and Alex Albon are able to drive F1. I'm surprised. I think
They're
if
pretty
they were
skinny.
but they're so tall. You get a lot
Yeah.
of weight from height. You'd be amazed how much heavier you are just from having a few more inches. So they must lose a
Wow,
lot of time.
I got a couple of inches.
Yeah. You lose weight, Ev.
Oh well,
The webcam adds a few ounces.
I thought it was. We don't usually spend a lot of time on this. I thought it was worth talking about the qualifying, just because it was a really fascinating top three, and people like Magnussen and Gasly were quite high up on the order. Now I know Leclerc crashed out, which meant that Max didn't get his final lap or anything.
It's such a satisfying crash as well.
Oh,
like
it was
top
good.
speed.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. I'd much rather that than just like, who was it at Baku? And he took his eye off the road and then his rear wheel clipped the wall.
It was
like,
Ocon.
You fucking idiots! Like, pay attention.
Or was it? Yeah,
one
it was
job.
Ocon. It was Ocon, wasn't it?
If
Not
you're gonna
Gasly.
go out like pirouetting.
Yeah.
At
Pushing
top
the car
speed
to its
into
limits.
the yeah.
I
You
just want to
caused that
see a
red
chassis
flag, buddy.
left. I just want to see the chassis. All the wheels are off. The wings off.
Classic,
But no one's hurt. No one's hurt.
Classic American fan. I just want to see crashes, man.
Yeah.
Crash.
Just on that note, did you see what had happened in the Porsche Cup afterwards?
No.
So the Porsche Cup was after qualifying, right? And the fucking truck taking Charles's car was on track when the Porsche Cup was underway.
Oh God.
Pull up, like, obviously we can't pull up a clip of it, but anyone who is listening, pull up the clip. It's pretty fucked. No one crashed or anything like that, but it was just ridiculous
that's just asking
that
for a disaster.
yeah.
Well, it was. Look, I really enjoyed qualifying this week. It was really cool to see the times, because so often you just like, Max is going to be 1, Leclerc 2, whatever, or the other way around, and not having either of them at the top made it far more interesting. I was really excited for Haas and Kevin because it was in America.
Yeah.
I think every time something like that happens, it just rejuvenates the life of the F1 for the year. So we're not seeing the same thing every week. It doesn't matter how many entrances and celebrities you have. Ultimately, you just want to see something different, or
bit of variety, a little surprise. You don't want to have, like, I mean, I generally thought, and I suppose we'll cross this bridge in the conversation about the race itself, but maybe this is a good segue. That because I was delayed in watching the race because I was working all weekend. And so I didn't watch it until earlier today, my morning. And I had thought, oh, great. So Perez was up there and so was Alonso. But I generally did not think that Max won. And so when I actually was watching the race, and it's like, fuck, he actually came back. And he's like, oh my God, once again, he's like dominating and he's passing everybody. And there's like, his dominance is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, for fuck's sake, like I'm getting bored of that. And I guess, now we can talk a bit more in depth about it all without going too much into my thoughts about it, and I can come back to that. But yeah, I love the fact that qualifying just seemed to offer a glimpse of something of what could be.
Exactly. And that will let's segue into my first comment of the race. So we'll go into the race and we look at P1, which was Max. And as much as there was some entertainment in what we saw on that grid on the qualifying, ultimately, I mean, did you ever doubt Max was going to be first?
I was wishfully hopeful.
What about Ev? Did you think he would get as strong a position as he did? Or did you think he might have to fight with Checo a little more?
No, I was surprised he didn't come first within the first 10 laps.
Yeah. What was it? Like 15, he was already third or second.
Yeah, but it took him until like lap 40 or something until he got in first place.
Yeah, it took until the Checo pitted.
Yeah, exactly.
I was surprised that it didn't happen sooner. But
well, he was on hard, so maybe that's why it took a little longer.
Yeah, maybe.
But the hard.
I
seemed
do
to
want
be
to
good
talk
on the Miami
about that
track.
though as well.
Yeah,
like just on the strategy on that front. So I don't know.
Yeah, they said that they gave Perez the preferable
better strategy. Yeah,
strategy, but I don't think it's the problem I have with this season and I guess with Formula One recently is nothing matters.
No,
like first, if you don't know, everybody was pretty much on the same strategy from the first lap, which was start on mediums and then go to hards and
finish off.
Lewis got caught in a DRS train, and if the whole train pits at the same time, then you're all going to come out at the same. Like it's just like it's a bit.
It's too
really
formulaic.
a bit silly. Yeah, because everybody has the same simulations. Everybody knows what the fastest strategy is. So there's
Everybody
less
gets
racing.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. And then you've got Max just driving rings around people, like Lewis has been doing for the last 10 years.
Right.
Max is doing it now, and that's fair enough. People weren't as upset with Lewis doing it. I don't know why.
I know.
if
I was
it's
pretty
just-
upset. I was pretty upset with.
Yeah, I
Lewis
know,
doing
and I know that it breeds resentment having that kind of dominance. So whether or not it's just the communications around all of this, the commentary is amplifying.
I think
boring
lately
this is.
I don't know if I've noticed it more this year or it's always kind of been like this. I feel like it's new. Every little thing, like you said, like it's like people cared less when Lewis was doing it. I feel at the moment they're taking any kind of discrepancy or not. I don't even want to use the word controversy, but things that people might complain about and really blowing them up. Like we really need talking.
That's society in general right now.
Yes, it is. But I feel like because of how popular it is now, they're really hamming that up.
exactly.
And I
But
felt,
I mean, what's the point of if one? It's a bit because of the cost cap, and it's weird to say this because I think everybody agrees it's a good idea. Otherwise, Mercedes spend something like to the power of 10 of what everybody else did. But what's the point of the season if, like, Red Bull win the first race? Like they've been saying, Mercedes are bringing in their upgrades, so their first big upgrades are coming in 2 weeks' time at Imola. If they don't understand, if it doesn't work, or they don't understand why it doesn't work, it's going to take them another whole year before they can afford to bring in. And so that means next year will be written off for them as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the point of this if the first race of the season, it's a Red Bull 1-2, and it's the same for 2 whole years?
Following that.
Like, what's the point until we get Volkswagen coming in with Audi and we get the new changes in 2026? Like, what was the point of this?
at least at the end of the Mercedes reign, we saw Red Bull getting closer and catching up. Like Max was challenging.
Because they changed the rules to make it that way, and that's fair enough. I'm not complaining about that. But yeah, it's just a bit like, well,
No, I know. I'm just saying before the cost
really
cap was in full
frustrating.
effect, it felt like that they were getting closer. They were.
Yeah,
Feel like they were figuring things out. Is it time that we say it's over and it's Red Bull's year? They can't lose now.
oh, it was after the first.
Yeah, but can we
Race.
officially say that now and just let everyone know that's 1 and 2's in the bag. Let's go watch 3 through 10.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
Because that is
Aston
exciting.
Martin.
Midfield. Yeah, that's a lot more exciting.
Because Will said before I'd even watched the race, it was a boring race. So I was like, okay, great. Max has probably won. But then after watching the race, I thought, I actually didn't think it was a boring race. It was just boring if you were worried about who won. Like, Max won, Checo second. I was like, that in itself is boring because that's expected.
Yeah.
But I actually thought 3 to 10, even to 15, had a lot going on, even with the DRS train for a while. I
there
found
were some
more
good
happening in that
overtakes.
race. Yeah.
Hamilton
was
was
a lot right
overtaking
on.
Bottas
Yeah.
was really that was good.
Russell
racing.
did
that
a
was
great
double back.
one.
Yeah. Stroll and and Magnussen and Max taking over Leclerc at the same time. That was pretty
That was
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Max's overtake on that was awesome.
Oh, jeez.
It was just in a fortunate position. It would have been if it was anyone else.
Well, speaking of his overtakes, right, he came from 9th, and I watched some of his overtakes, and maybe it's track Ev, maybe it's just this week, they've just been pushing their car harder, but it really felt like either that car is truly insanely faster than everyone else, which might be true, or people aren't even wasting their tyres on him now. They're like, hey, Max is coming, let him go by.
yeah,
That's
so
what
they
it
should
seems
both
down.
like. Yeah.
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
Everybody was told to. You're not fighting him. Like, he's not your contender. Other than that, there is a very strong rumor going around that only because this has happened before with Mercedes, whereby if you're that dominant, you try not to show your hand too much. So, for example, if Red Bull have even more in their back pocket, the FIA, their Formula 1 will just crack down on them, and they'll change the rules they did with Mercedes eventually to try and make it a bit fairer and a bit more entertaining. And so the prevailing wisdom is that the Red Bull car has even more to give, but they're not giving it because
Showing
they
that.
don't.
Yeah.
They don't want to show off.
That's what
Because
Russell was saying a few weeks ago.
Yeah. A few people have been saying it, and it does track. That does make sense, and it has been seen before. So it certainly would be sensible not to show off.
Yeah.
Because then you,
How
so that's
how
it.
is it
And
possible
they're very
if
savvy.
that is
like,
true?
They're not, it's not as if they're not savvy.
If that is true, right?
What do you mean?
How is it possible
Yeah.
that Red Bull can be that far ahead of every other team?
I have a theory.
Their car's got some weaknesses. It lacks
Checo.
front end downforce, and so it takes longer to heat up the front tires. But other than that, that's kind of like the only weakness.
My theory is, Tay, as we saw towards the end of the Mercedes reign, Max and whether it was Albon or Daniel or whoever it was, they were getting very, very close to Mercedes in consistency, and they've obviously figured out a very efficient way to make their car very, very strong, whereas Mercedes were basically relying on an open wall.
Money.
Yeah. So now that they don't have that opportunity, Red Bull is the best at making the most of the money.
Yeah, maybe.
So they are just going to be that much better, and we're waiting for a team like Mercedes to catch up because we're so used to Mercedes being the best, but they don't have the money anymore. Ferrari's all over the place, so God knows what they're doing.
So basically, Red Bull, for such a long period of time, because they didn't have that same sort of wallet, they were basically able to be more resourceful and more intelligent in the way they designed and built their car. So then that's why they're being able to essentially move forward in such a pace and such a advancement compared to other, especially Merc.
And that maybe they'll figure it out in a few years. I'm fucking hoping that they do. Although, look, let's go to P2. We got Checo at P2. It was a pretty brilliant weekend for him. Although, despite Horner's words, you could argue he didn't have the better strategy. He actually had a worse strategy. But as I can't remember who said it, but I agreed. You may not have had a choice. He's out in front. You can't just start him on the hards unless you think he has to stay ahead of the pack. Max had the luxury of starting on the hards, I think.
Yeah, but when you have a car that's that dominant, even starting on the hards sounds like you're still going to be better off.
Maybe, but then you don't want to risk losing that spot, because Max may have crashed out in the first 2 laps. You never know.
Yeah.
Then I mean, like, I'm still happy for him. P2's fine. He was, I think, 5 seconds behind Max, and then
he was by then. Just over.
Then 26 seconds behind Max was the next best car. Alonso in the Aston Martin. I wouldn't say he had a boring race, but he was watching the race go by on the screen as he drove through, even commentating on Lance's race at one point.
That was a good pass on corner 1.
So, I mean,
when he was in 13th.
Felt like a comfortable role for him. Like, he didn't really have to challenge much. I think he's a great personality to have in F1 when he has a shit teammate. When you're not challenging that guy and he's comfortably doing better than he expects. He's having a great time.
He's enjoying it.
Have you guys ever seen him this jovial in a season?
Not really.
No.
This is the new Alonso.
And you know what? I didn't even realize he had 2 years off.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. And I was like, and that just showed like how much he wasn't part of the picture back in the years previous.
Ricardo's sitting there in the background going, word for Alonso. Maybe that's what I need. 2 years off and I'll come back.
Well, apparently, just on that note, he's definitely making it well aware to everyone that when he's ready, he's going to be ready.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
P4, Russell, pretty solid weekend for him. I thought the Merc seemed to struggle a little bit in qualifying. Like Hamilton didn't even make it to Q3.
First time ever.
Yeah, so what was that about? Were they just struggling in general because of the timing of everyone coming out of the pits, or were they just not performing
that
this
was
weekend?
his excuse.
He got caught in a bit of traffic, whereas George didn't. So that would explain... all season they've been fairly... comparable, so I would suspect that probably is why. But that car is just like they don't. What worries me is that they don't. They've openly said, Toto Wolff's openly said that they don't know why the car isn't doing what they want it to
okay.
do, and so they're bringing in huge changes at Imola, and
If only we had
everything-
$20 million, we'd be able to figure out what was wrong.
Yeah. And
Well, yeah.
so yeah, it's a bit worrying if they don't know if they don't know why it's doing poorly. How are you
can't
going
change
How do
to
you fix it?
Fix
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I had a moment where I thought of you this week, Ev. It was something. Well, during the race.
while you were having sex,
Yeah. You know when they're during the race and they have their technician. Who's the guy that they talk to? What do you?
Bono.
No, yeah, but what's their title?
Oh, it's just an engineer.
The
Space
engineer, the
Yeah.
engineer, their technician, whatever.
Yeah.
They're all on their headsets going to the driver. We're going to go plan B, or we're going to go plan A +7. I'm pretty sure George Russell is the only driver where it's the opposite way around. So, hey guys, I'm thinking plan A +3. It's like, okay, George, maybe you just drive, mate.
Yeah.
And every other driver is receiving that information. He's giving the information.
Wait,
Well,
why
that
did
was
you
a-
think of me then?
Because I know you hate how Russell tells his team what he should be doing.
What
Yeah,
they
I
should
do.
be doing.
Who was it that one of their engineers was like?
It was
you
Max.
It was Max. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Max says something, and then like the engineer was like, "Look, you let us worry about that. You worry about driving."
Yeah. It was so
you can
good.
tell how bored Max was that he's
Yeah.
already thinking like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's funny
Well,
though how each one thinks differently, because then
Yeah.
Alonso is credited for, he just thinks of
That's
everything
true.
when he's out on the track. He thinks of this, he thinks of that. He's so experienced that he's able to tell when either the driver in front of him is going to be like, oh yeah, he's got deg, he's fucking up his wheels, and then literally 5 laps later, it's like, he's coming in to get his wheels done.
Yeah. Lewis
and-
has had that to some degree, maybe not to Alonso's degree. I always noticed that with him.
Yeah, Lewis is very good at that too.
Someone
he's
who
kind of
does-
like the only one. It's where they say it's like you're driving the other guy's car
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
So you're putting him under pressure and you're making him use up his tires defending you, but you're not actually attacking. You're just making that guy like fuck up his tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
that
mental
he'll
thing.
go in- exactly. So it's very intelligent. Considering you're doing 320 kilometers an hour down a back straight.
I think I
I'm
saw
not gonna lie.
I saw
Yeah.
331 I saw
Yeah.
clocked in this week.
I did I don't know if we'll get to him. I think he finished 9th, so maybe we'll. But
Okay.
Lance Stroll.
No, he didn't finish 9th, but we will get to
No,
him.
he was
We will
outside
get
of
Did
the
you-
points.
But did you hear about what he said to his engineer?
No.
Oh, I don't
Oh.
think I did hear it.
Oh my
Hit
god,
me.
it was so good because he's got that it's like a Californian / Canadian accent.
Like North California.
Here we go. Let's talk for me.
Yeah, no, but he was like, he goes like, "Hey, you guys, do you want to tell me what's going on in the race? Like, who's up? What's
that's
happening
right.
in the
Yes,
race?"
he did,
And then
yeah.
his engineer was like, just all right, hold on, buddy. And you just think like, of course, they've probably just like switched him off, because it's just
It's on a
nobody
need-to-know
gives a shit.
basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, okay, let's fill Lance in. Like, buddy, no, you're like out of the points anyway. Nobody
He's like,
gives a shit
yelling
about
at the
you.
technician. He just like
And then
switches it off. And then,
and then it's
Lawrence is
so
coming
funny.
quickly. Turn her on.
Yeah. Then Lawrence is like, guys, come on, speak to my son.
Yeah, just come on, make him feel like he's
the
a part
Prince
of it.
Harry of F1.
P5, Carlos Sainz. Both he and Leclerc have come out to say that it's incredibly hard to push this Ferrari to the limit. And it felt like on this track, all cars kind of had found it a tad difficult, as you explained earlier, Ev. I think I'd rather hear these guys complain about the car when they have a good weekend. Like, have a good weekend and go, I'm really happy with my result, but it's really hard to push this car to the limit. Not when you have a shit weekend and go, well, it's not my fault. This car's just really hard to push to the limit.
It just looks like it's passing the buck.
Yeah, and it takes the fire out of that argument. So I don't know. Look, I think we've been watching them for the past few weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. But geez, they just were shit.
How do you go backwards with having a reasonably competitive car last year, And then knowing what we just spoke about with Mercedes and Red Bull and how it's almost like you're a year ahead. You've got all these plans and whatever. To then be substantially worse now.
They in researching what their direction should be in development for this year, they had since found out that their side pod design and their general architecture, the ceiling of development for this design language is already kind of maxed out, so they really can't get much more out of it. They've discovered. So it's a bit like they've taken a left turn and they've gone. They thought they were taking the right turn, but
it's a dead end.
It's a cul-de-sac. They've kind of gone down this cul-de-sac, and so now they're going to have to redo like the whole car.
Basically, start from scratch.
Oh
yeah,
god.
kind of.
Well,
But that's just as I said with Mercedes, they're bringing in their like inverted commas a more conventional side pod design.
yeah.
So, which just means that everybody's going to end up looking like the Red Bull. The way that everybody was kind of looking like the Mercedes towards the end.
Why not?
Of their
It's working.
dominance.
Yeah.
It's working.
Or when Force India basically copied them.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just glad I haven't listened to the word porpoising all year, so that's been great.
Oh, isn't
Even though
that
I
great?
did hear it briefly on the weekend, that was the first
Oh
time.
yeah, it's like, oh no, Russell's not porpoising.
Yeah, there was
He's
a lot
just-
of wind.
yeah.
I can't see any porpoising.
Yeah.
Jeez. So speaking of Hamilton, P6, great recovery from a pretty shitty qualify. Stuck in that DRS train for a while, but somehow managed to get his way through what
did
I
some
think we
good
can
overtakes.
agree is a good result for him at the moment.
Yeah.
Like P6 is strong for Hamilton.
But did you hear him do his classic?
Yeah.
It's the race is over, guys.
Second lap, third lap.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
No.
Can't do it. It's
Oh, yeah.
like, are we
Yeah.
bothering? Are we bothering? P6.
Yeah, I know. It's like, come on, dude.
P6.
Are you
Talk
sure you
about
don't want me to come
praise-
in and we can just retire the car now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can you
There's
imagine him and
constant
Ricciardo
shit
being on the same
every
team? Like if
time.
next year, Mercedes get rid of Hamilton, Ricciardo comes back in, they're both driving for AlphaTauri or Haas or something like that every race. Should we just come in? Should I just not? Was it worth it?
Guys, do you need me today? Do you need me?
Yeah, did you hear me?
Should we
'cause-
put Mick in?
Like,
Yeah, let's bring
Mercedes should
Mick.
just be happy to be beating Ferrari. Leclerc's
Yeah.
behind Hamilton, crashed out in qualifying, unfortunately for him. But did you notice, like, he had a really hard time getting through the pack? Like, really struggled. Like, for laps and laps.
yeah.
He wasn't going anywhere. Like, why the fuck was
Like,
that?
Alpine and even though Stroll's shit, he's in a fast car, and even Haas is surprisingly, got the speed, and obviously, which is surprising because Haas is a Ferrari engine.
Yes.
Yep.
Hulkenberg overtook Leclerc
Yeah,
twice.
So it's very fascinating, just in the sense of like how much that even the middle to the end of the pack is actually still very competitive.
Yeah, well, look, Aston
Yeah, so
Martin's
they-
got the same engine as Mercedes, and they're like, Alonso streaks ahead of Russell and
Yeah,
Hamilton.
yeah.
What were you
You
going
want
to
to
say?
say something, Ev?
Oh, so
Speak.
the second half of the table, they don't even have 120 million to reach the cost
No.
cap. So what you see is what we saw at Baku was, excuse me, everybody's talking about how the Red Bull is like driving around cars on the back straight at Baku. The Alfa Romeo and the Williams and maybe even the AlphaTauri had a higher top speed.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Because-
AlphaTauri didn't. I was told that AlphaTauri had possibly the 9th slowest car on the grid.
Yeah, maybe slowest, but for top speed, I don't know.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
So
leave the medalist.
It's
just
a
in
lot
case.
easier to have less rear wing, and then all of a sudden you've got a ton less drag, and you're just going to zoom by. But it doesn't help you anywhere else on the track.
Oh, why
And-
can't I get around this corner? Ah, that's right.
Yeah, no downforce. Yeah. And so that means you've got to go all the more slower through the corners.
Yeah.
So it's a bit misleading, but when you do see like the Haas outpacing a Ferrari, that's why.
That's
it's
why.
kind of a bit.
But
it's
okay, so that's fair. But why, in general, was Charles having such a hard time getting through the pack this week? Like, is Ferrari just a bad design for Miami or something?
I've heard that. Well, he said it before that. Yeah, the car, as we saw in qualifying it, it it bites your hand off. Like he
okay.
can't tell.
He can't tame it.
He can't tell where like the cliff edge is.
Yeah.
So sometimes he'll be fine, and then like the next lap, you spin out doing 300 kilometers an hour.
I get it. Yeah, that would be terrifying.
Bad.
There's no confidence. You have no confidence in that car.
No, it's unpredictable.
That's probably So maybe he was just taking his time because he didn't want to crash again. You know, 7th is better than nothing.
Not taking unnecessary risks. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the shorter DRS zones played a factor in that? Because they've shortened the DRS zones so it's not so advantageous, but Red Bull have no effect. Like they're still sweeping.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's disadvantaging every other car except the Red Bull, and that would be really fucking stupid.
It was meant to be like a net advantage in that sense. If there was a discrepancy, you're gonna minimize that discrepancy, which therefore is in effect as if you're getting an advantage over Red Bull.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter anyway, and all it means then is that everybody else has got less. If everybody else is racing their own race, then they're kind of getting screwed.
I don't know if that works so well. P8 and P9, we've got Gasly and Ocon, the Bash brothers. Now looking at the grid ahead of them, and Gasly getting P5 in qualifying, I would definitely argue that this is either a positive or an expected result for them. They both finished in the top 10. Yet we see Alpine with their head in their hands, like it's all downhill for them at the moment. We can speak to this in more detail at the end of the show, but what are they actually expecting? Are they expecting to be 4 and 5?
They were expecting to consolidate 4th place and then try and move forward and apply upwards pressure. And they're now they feel like 5th or 6th, and they're not making any progress. I think having both cars finish is progress. Now, team, maybe it's Otmar. It's following him around.
Is it? Because Aston Martin did pretty damn well with Otmar.
They're doing better without him.
Are they?
They're doing loads better.
Maybe.
Were you being sarcastic then, and we just missed that?
I think Otmar, all his teams that he's been a part of have performed well. Maybe, sure, Aston Martin's performing better.
Statistically speaking,
but you could argue that that's just Alonso. I mean, both Gasly and Ocon.
No, but you look at the car in general. The car, it doesn't matter but the car is just naturally better, and Stroll's doing better in that car than he did in the car previous.
Was Otmar ahead when Stroll was driving for them?
Yeah. Wasn't he?
I don't think so. Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well, I don't know. I think I thought Otmar was doing a pretty good job at Alpine, considering they didn't have any right to be up in that area, and they were. And then he left, and maybe Aston Martin's performance this year is just the follow on from his time
Mercedes
there.
engine.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, there could be that as well.
Because there was that time where Racing Point, when it was still Otmar, they got penalised because they were doing too well. There was I don't think it's necessarily him. You guys might be right. He's not the only changing factor, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
P10, my driver of the week. I feel like he deserved it. Kevin Magnussen. He finished in P4 in the quali, which I think is a Haas best, if I'm not mistaken. And it's in their own backyard. And he held on to points throughout the race. Great to see them do this well this far into the year. I know it's only like race 5. But often we'd see them do a great quali and then they're back in 15th within half the race. I know Hulk was only 15th, but I think he had a bit of bad luck at the start. But overall, I thought they're looking okay in general. What do you guys think of K-Mag's performance?
To be honest, I think like most of Haas, it's sort of a non-entity. Like you're sort of like... You're excited at the beginning because you see them, like, as you said, like, qualifying at 4th. Yeah. But then you don't expect it to last, and sure enough, it didn't.
Yeah, but usually we don't expect it to last, and he's in the back of the pack. At least he was in the points, and we saw a few good overtakes by him.
Oh, it's still great that he got in the points, for sure. But I wasn't really paying attention to his race.
Yeah, fair enough. Ev?
I agree.
Okay, all right. Then we got our final 10. One person I want to put the spotlight on is Yuki Tsunoda, and this is why I brought up the AlphaTauri thing. He's consistently finishing 10th and 11th every week, which apparently, arguably, is in one of the worst cars on the grid. They would, one of the commentators were speaking about it after the race, and they were saying it's possibly on a good week the 9th worst car on the grid, on the 9th slowest car on the grid, possibly the 10th slowest this weekend. Yet he's still getting good results. So his qualies aren't great, but then he comes in at 10th or 11th every week. And considering De Vries was meant to be the quote-unquote leader with all the experience in F2 and things, I feel like Yuki's doing pretty well.
He's stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, he's been a great leader.
Even
I
though
mentioned
it's
it
a
last
small
week,
plate.
actually, because you always thought of Gasly as the guy. De Vries, really shit again. I don't know. He had the worst entrance and one of the worst driving performances. I don't give a shit. He's the most... probably the least interesting character on the grid for me at the moment. So then we had Stroll in 12. Just another average weekend by him, considering Alonso was third. Bottas in 13. Bit disappointing for him. Albon 14. Surprisingly low for him. He's been performing quite well. Did he have any incidents at the start that I've missed?
None that was televised.
No, so he didn't bump into anyone or crash into anyone. Okay.
I don't think so.
No, that was De Vries on Norris.
Yeah, if that's right. I had in my notes.
Yeah,
De Vries starts and his race is over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we had Logan fuck up at the beginning. He damaged his wing, so he was basically out for the rest of the race. Hulk at 15, Zoe, Norris, De Vries, Piastri, Sargent. Fuck, McLaren are fucked. It's got to be over for Zach now, don't you think? Like... For a car as shit as McLaren's clearly
Why is it Zach, though?
Do you really think getting rid of Daniel
principal.
would have made the difference? Like, Daniel would have been in the
No.
same position.
Yeah. But also, it's not really Zach, though. Like, that's one thing that I find quite fascinating with all the different teams. You have the principals, right? The team principals, like Gene and... Not Gene, sorry. Gunther. Sorry, it's because I was thinking of Gunther and he's always like, Gene, get Gene on the phone. But you have all the team principals who are all like that. But then Zach seems to be the only one who seems to be talking, and you never hear from the team principal at McLaren.
So their team principals, Andrea Stella. Why it is that we're not hearing from Andrea. So Zach Brown is the CEO of McLaren. No, is the CEO of McLaren Racing, like their racing division. So there's a guy. There's a CEO above Zach, and then there'll be the board of directors and that. Why it is that Zach's the point man. He's appointed himself point man to be front and center. Every interview is Zach.
Yeah.
Why it is he hasn't fallen on his sword yet, I don't know, because they've underwhelmed up until now, and now they're just really poor. And on top of everything, you've paid $33 million to not have Daniel Ricciardo drive for you. And I get that it was an opportunity to have potentially the most exciting young
pair
team.
Yeah.
That's true.
They have been exciting.
Yeah, but it's like... I don't know, man. Formula One's a results industry, and you haven't given any result ever, really. They've never looked.
No, the last result was the 1-2 on Monza.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean in general, like
but that's that. But when you think about how long ago that was,
yeah,
when
that's right.
it was
and
actually
that was a lot of luck.
Yeah.
So it's why it is that he hasn't taken responsibility for that. I don't know. It feels weird. Why is he injecting himself into every interview?
I just find it
why is he wearing a
fascinating.
polo shirt that's 2 sizes too small? I don't know.
It's called motivation.
Yeah. So why does the CEO of the company is there? It's all weird. And
I just find it fascinating how
it's a very American style of management. I'll say that much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, they definitely need to pick up their fucking game. That's for sure. I thought it was kind of on the up last week. Maybe it was just the track. McLaren's car seems very track dependent, and I think they just need to start paying attention to the conditions of the
Haas.
weekend. It's Haas. You've been paying attention. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bam. We come into one of the more exciting things of the F1 calendar. More self-indulgent than a Miami race. We have Ev the technician versus Tay or Digby, the other guy, and it's currently 1-3 to the other guys. So Ev has got a lot to catch up on now. Due to Ev's complaining last week, he did suggest that maybe I should have done something more race dependent from the weekend because he had been paying attention. So I have taken his advice. And I have made sure these questions are things that you could have picked up on last weekend. For those of you who are new, Haas, you've been paying attention, is our weekly quiz where I will give a series of questions to be answered by either Tay or Ev as they compete for the title at the end of the year. All questions are based on the current F1 races or around the paddock, around the week that we've just been. So hopefully these guys have been keeping an eye out, keeping an ear out, taking notes. And let's just see what they can remember. Let's start with the buzzers. Ev, you seem really checked in this week. Let's start with your buzzer.
Mine is Plan A plus 5.
Good George Russell reference. George Russell reference there. Taylor, what's your buzzer?
Fuck.
Here we go.
That'll do. That'll
Think
do.
about it.
Brace
No, I like
yourself.
that. Fuck.
Oh, okay. We're going to go with that.
No,
are we?
do another. Do a different
Sounds
one.
Sergio Perez made when he looked in his mirrors.
Yeah.
All right, I got to take this one from Shan because I'll give you a bit of context for it just quickly.
Oh, God.
Every time I was watching the race or anything on the weekend, she would always only hear someone commenting on Sergio Perez. And so she'd say it in English accent.
Sergio Perez. All right, so we got Sergio Perez and Plan A plus 3. All right.
That sounds like Kate by 8.
Okay. Let's start with an easy one. I've already talked about a few of these things.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. Who was LL Cool J's favorite driver?
Plan A plus 3.
Oh, Evan Locke.
Wasn't it? Well, Lewis.
It was Lewis.
Fist
Lewis
bump,
Hamilton.
Fist bump. Fist bump.
Big hug.
The
I love this
the bro
guy.
hug. The half hug.
Yeah, the bro hug.
Fucking hell.
All
I
right.
can't stop giggling at your stupid fucking... All I can think of is Kate by 8.
All right.
Was that the woman who had 8
No,
kids?
it was Kate plus 8.
Yeah,
It
Kate
was the
plus 8.
one with
Yeah.
the 8 kids.
Yeah, and that weird guy that was the husband.
All right.
Yeah.
Question the second.
She was like the original Karen.
Come on.
totally. She even had the haircut for it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Who did
That's right.
so in 2022? Martin Brundle mistook a celebrity for another
Sergio
celebrity.
Perez.
So he called him Patrick Mahomes in 2022.
Oh, damn it.
What is this celebrity's real name?
Go Tay.
Go
I
Tay.
fucking don't know.
If you guys
I
can
don't
give
know.
me one name, I'll give you half a point. 1 point for full
I know
name.
you said it before as well. And I completely
I took
blanked
note.
on it.
I took note because I turned it on just as he was talking to him. I'm like, that's his
Yeah.
name. I'd never heard of him before, to be fair.
Nah, he's a basketballer. Fuck, what's his name?
Was it Kevin Durant? It wasn't Kevin Durant.
No, it wasn't Kevin
it wasn't.
Durant.
I get a half point. You said give me a name. I gave you a name.
No, half of it.
Yeah.
Do you know Tay at all? Can you even give me
I was
one?
like, wasn't it like Paco or something?
Oh, it's close.
Yeah.
His name is Pablo Banchero.
Pablo. Yeah.
Escobar.
Still 1-0 to Ev. All right. How many drivers spoke to LL Cool J during the entrance?
Sergio Perez.
Tay,
Why is this what we were meant to be paying attention to?
because it happened on the
Well,
weekend.
because it happened on the weekend, Ev.
Not anything to do with the race.
It's a lot.
Do I get more
This
points
isn't-
if I name
you
the
ask-
people?
if you ask
Idiots
Miami, this has
of pre-race,
everything to do with the race.
partying.
All right, Tay.
There was Sargent.
Yep.
There was Lewis, and there was Max.
Incorrect. Lewis didn't actually say anything. Lewis just hugged him.
Are you fucking kidding me? What
Sorry,
a load
mate.
of shit.
Sorry about that. Still 1-0. You're still in this, Ev. No, they just hugged. They just hugged. I thought he spoke too. That's why I double checked it today.
Son of a
So,
Red Bull had their 4th 1-2 finish in Miami. What's the record for them getting 1-2 finishes for a full season?
Sergio Perez.
Taylor.
I think they're tying right now.
Is that your answer?
Oh no, they're one away. No, they're one away. So their record is 2
No.
for once.
interesting. Was it Singapore?
hang on.
Sorry, let me repeat the question for you, Taylor. They've had 4 1-2 finishes this year.
Plan
What's
A.
the
Plan
record?
A plus 3. Plan A plus 3.
Then I'll give it.
Then it's fucking damn it.
No. What's
Is it
your answer?
5?
I
Is it
misheard
5?
it.
Is it 5?
No, I feel I gave you a chance there, Tay, because you did say it was one more. They had one more to get, which is right. And I
So
feel
I'm
like
right. I'm right. 2-0.
I'll give it. No. You don't get that point.
Why not?
Because I hadn't let him finish the answer.
Oh, he
I
was
giving
finished,
him a
mate.
chance.
He got finished a long time ago.
Yeah. No,
Alright.
for some reason.
I'll give you that point, Ev.
For some reason, when I was listening today.
You were on the right track.
You weren't
I don't know
paying
why. I
attention.
even said it was their 4th.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I didn't hear you just say 4th. I didn't hear
okay,
that.
so I'm giving
paying
Ev that
attention.
point because I did
paying
say
attention.
4th.
Yeah.
I paid
yeah.
attention.
How many different starting positions has Max won from on the grid?
Ever?
Ever. How many different starting positions has he won from?
I'll take a stab. Plan A plus 3. I'm going to say 8.
Yes! Oh my
really?
god! It's
Well, that was a
8.
guess.
Fucking
guess.
nailed it.
Bullshit. As you look at your phone, you fuck.
I'm not looking at. I'm playing with the sliders on this thing.
All right. We've got
This is
2
fucking dire.
questions
After
left.
such a strong week last week.
We've got 2 questions left, but Tay, you can still win this because there are some bonus points to be had.
There we go.
No, but he has to earn them. You can still earn these fucking
Convenient.
points.
Oh yeah,
Ev.
the quote unquote earner.
Who was the last driver to win from the 9th position? And what year was it?
Me.
Sergio Perez.
Plan plus
Sorry,
3.
that's Taylor got his buzzer in first.
You're such a cunt.
Nicky Lauda.
Yes, and what year?
Plan A plus 3.
No, let him answer.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him looking down. Look at him looking down.
No, I'm closing my eyes, you fuckhead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
Huh?
When was it?
Come on, take a
Fuck.
stab.
When was he? Is it 86.
Ooh, incorrect. Evan?
Was it 35 years ago?
No.
Oh, really? I thought it was 35. I saw
Well,
it.
you
like
got
a
to
minute
say
ago.
year, you fuckhead.
What year was
Yeah,
it?
I
mate?
can't count back 35 years. 1980, like 2 or something.
No, it was
1983.
1984.
Oh, there you go. I was right. So I was right.
It's 1 point.
That was, how
1
was
point
that
for Tay.
35 years ago?
Yeah, it's not.
You fucking
Isn't
idiot.
it? I saw
No.
that on a
What
post,
year are we in? We're in
today.
2023.
and it was a post about this was the first time somebody's won.
Anyway, that's incorrect.
right,
It's 1 point
3-0.
to Tay. Okay?
3-1.
Oh, so that was a 2-pointer, was it?
Yeah, that was where the
Gotcha.
extra point was. So you're behind by 2. It's 3-1.
Yeah.
What record did Max equal after his win in Miami this weekend?
Fuck, I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear any of that.
It's a pretty big one. He equaled it, though. He didn't break it, which is probably why he didn't hear it.
Plan A plus 3.
Yes.
Did he equal a record that was something like most American wins?
No, but it's something like that, but that is incorrect.
Yeah.
Some of those words that you spoke were right. Taylor, come on, mate.
See, now
Oh God.
there was other information that I heard, but now I'm thinking, fuck, was that Lewis?
Give you 10 more seconds.
Boom.
Fucking countdown music, you fuckhead.
2 out of 3 idiots do countdown.
Nah, I think the only one I can think of, and I'm pretty sure that was Lewis, and that was the most different tracks ever
No.
raced.
He
yeah.
equaled the most amount of wins for a Red Bull racer, and he tied with Sebastian Vettel at 38, which means Evan Locke is the winner. Pew, 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 pew. It is
When did they
officially-
say
Bumps
that?
LL.
When was that information given?
I don't know if they said it, but it's what happened
Ah.
this weekend.
Worst. This is the worst.
I'm sorry.
Half
What?
of the questions were about before the race even began.
And then the other half, you just didn't know. You won, Ev. You should be fucking happy. Next time, I won't give you help.
It's the principle.
Ev's had help in this every step of the way.
That's
I
'cause
should
he's
have won
always
half
losing.
a dozen fucking games last, but he's not always losing.
Well, you had the opportunity
I
to
know,
come
I
back.
know.
You had the opportunity
I
to come
know,
back, but
I
it's
fucked it.
2-3. We're still
yeah.
ahead. We're still
I'm
ahead.
sitting in the back of Shaq's Cadillac as he's driving me away.
Well done, Evan. It doesn't come without a load of complaining, but you got there, mate.
I know.
You know what? Maybe you can write the questions next week.
Yeah, go on, Ev. No, that will require work.
Well, you write
No homework.
anything.
We don't do homework.
Okay, so speaking of Evan Locke, we move on to the evolution of racing. In this section, we talk about certain aspects of the F1, whether it be phrases or definitions of words that are thrown around the park, and perhaps aspects of the race that you may not know about, and you'd have to dive a little deeper. Rather than diving deeper or doing any real research, we just ask our tech expert, Ev. So, a few questions that popped up this week from me and Tay are going to be answered by Ev now, and then we can discuss them a bit further if they need. First thing was, you may have noticed Red Bull, especially this week, changed their livery, especially for Miami, which would beg the question from Taylor, what are the costs to change each livery, and why don't teams do this every week?
You are only allowed
Or
one.
every race.
You're allowed one change of like a special edition livery
Yes.
per season. You're only allowed one.
Really? Only one?
And and that goes for helmets as well. So we saw lots of drivers this week have special helmets, but that is it. They're not allowed to do one.
Why?
I had no idea it was only
Yeah,
once because
neither-
the way
yeah.
they time it, I would have thought a helmet changes every week, but it's obviously just a different driver every week.
Yeah.
That's
So why
crazy.
is it only once, Ev?
They want it to be.
They don't want to be like the NBA
Special.
because every fucking
Yeah.
week they're wearing a different jersey and you don't know what
Yeah.
fucking team you're watching.
Tell us how you
Yes.
really feel,
Yeah,
Digby.
in effect, in effect, that is kind of what that is why they don't want.
Yeah, I
you
like
to be, So I think it was last year we saw McLaren had a special Singapore livery, and it was like high tech, like it looked like it
Yeah.
had circuit board on the side. So the teams choose which race they want to do
Race
that
and they do it
in.
for.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's good. It keeps it a bit special. And clearly,
Yeah.
with every team changing their helmets, it feels like every week there's a different one.
Totally.
It'd be too overwhelming if every team changed it every fucking race. I'd be confused.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it definitely would be, but I like the idea of, especially like, when you see someone like Ferrari doing their 75th anniversary, or when they did like a couple of their special edition type liveries, and then also McLaren doing their golf one.
Yeah.
Whenever that
was at
for
Monaco.
Monaco, yeah. So I love seeing that stuff. I love seeing some of the old school liveries coming back into play, and I want to see more of that.
I think though there's a limit. Like you it's good to want more of it. Then there's that argument that when does it become too much? So you got to draw the line somewhere.
But then that's like US races and the fast that is surrounding them.
Yeah. Well, okay. The other question that Tay had this week was the different steering wheels. You'll notice that when drivers get into their car, they put their little steering wheel in, and a lot of them have very different steering wheels per team. What is the difference between these steering wheels, Ev, and how much difference is there actually between each one?
They are fundamentally identical.
Yeah.
They're all made by different companies, or they're all made like in-house, or they get their software designed out of house. But yes, they'll all have the same controls. They might be in different places on the steering wheel, but things like brake bias, front and rear wing, if you can adjust that on the steering wheel, any sort of like telemetry that you can try and change, engine mapping you can change on the steering wheel. You've got a button for the DRS. You've got a button for your drinks bottle, a button for the push to talk, like the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
You'll have a clutch in the back. You'll also have like the brake magic. All the cars have that where it disengages the front brake, so it kind of locks everything up, so it heats up the front tires more. There is one team who have always had their own steering wheel, and that's Williams, who have always had the steering wheels have a little, looks like an iPhone in the middle, which is their screen. For some reason, Williams don't. They have a fixed screen in the tub, like where the driver is, and the steering wheel rotates around it.
That's brilliant. I love
like
that.
a car, like a regular car.
Yeah.
And so it's insane because your hand is going to be blocking the screen sometimes.
Oh, so I was imagining a screen in the middle of their steering wheel which doesn't move no matter where their steering wheel is. That would
no,
that would
it's
be
just
amazing.
attached like to it. It's like a dashboard.
But then, how much can you really see on the screen when your steering wheel?
Well, that's
is
true. That's true.
Okay. The next one is the ERS system, the harvesting power. Now, for those who don't know what that is, when you see what looks to be like brake lights on the back of the F1 car, this is in fact the car's harvesting power. Now, why do they do this? And when would they choose to do it?
So that they can use that battery power. I think it's like an extra 10 kilometers an hour or something. You can use it to overtake, which was the original intention of it. But you can also use it to defend. So if somebody's coming up behind you and you want to go a little bit faster because they've got their DRS open, well, you can strategize your battery to only use it on the back straight to defend against that.
Yeah.
So what it does, like with any electric car, whenever you're braking, or if you take, you'll see it before they brake. Sometimes they'll do what they call lift and coast.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll take their foot off the pedal before they even start braking, and
let the drag slow them down.
Yeah, they let the drag slow the car down, and also as with any electric car, when the brakes regenerate that energy, it actually slows the car down more than it would otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's what that ERS system is doing. It's just what they call harvesting the electricity from the rotational
was being
force of the
generated
wheels.
from the brakes. Yeah.
Awesome. Brilliant. Well, another edition of Evolution of Racing wrapped up very succinctly. Thank you, Evan.
You're welcome.
Let's get into the end of the week. So we are going to move on to What's Verstappening. What's Verstappening is a quick fire round where we talk about the the news topics on and off the track from the weekend, the previous week, and get the opinions of both Tay and Ev in 20 seconds. Now, I need you guys to really push and get as much information as you can in 20 seconds. Don't fucking chat like you've got a minute, because I don't want to have to cut you off and you haven't actually fucking said anything. Could you just try and do it as if you have 20 seconds?
How do we come
to
to
make
this
a
20
point?
seconds? How do we come to this?
Well,
Who
we
agreed
came
on
to that
this?
when
I
we
need
started.
just give it a
when
couple
we
of
started
minutes,
the show,
Jimmy.
when Ollie and I talked about it.
Just give it a
the
minute.
whole point is to be like, it's
not ready.
What's the show that? Round the Horn. Is it Round the Horn?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, it's on
Well, you should. You live in America. Anyway, whatever it is, the whole idea is to get your point across quickly, so you're not just sitting there going, I don't know. I guess
That's what editing's for, mate.
Mate, do you want to edit?
No.
Exactly. So this is
Ev,
you editing.
do you want to do anything?
No.
The whole point of this
I
is
made
it's
it
interesting because
very
it
clear.
forces you to make a clear and succinct point as fast as possible.
Yep.
So you don't labor on it. Right. Number 1. Too fast, too furious. In the past years, we have seen a boom in F1 thanks to Drive to Survive. And naturally, the F1 want to capitalize as much as possible. But at what cost? There seems to be a lot of, greed and focus on the entertainment aspect just for the non-racing fans. Are we about to see a sharp decline in popularity, or is this a sustainable model with different formats, new tracks, entrances, lots of red flags, and expensive food? Is this sustainable, or are we going to see a sharp decline in this? Evan, you may start.
Oh, okay. Sharp decline. This isn't how any of this works ever. There's never been an example where this is that kind of that approach has ever worked.
Brilliant, Taylor.
You're welcome.
Nah, and it only seems to be a thing here in the US. I don't really see it being such a big thing in the other races that are done. Like meaning the Fast and Furious stuff, the fucking call out for all the drivers at the beginning of a race, all that. It only seems to be a US thing, and it's just trying to capitalize on what that market is here.
Yeah, Yep. Okay. I like that. I actually wrote down in my notes. Reminds me of the wrestling wars of the 90s. One company was focused on WWF
Sting.
Focused on sustaining what was appealing to wrestling fans, but also sprinkling in stuff to appeal to the new audience that they were coming who are like the F1 audience right now. Yeah. Whereas WCW were all about just appealing to the brand new people coming in, so they lost all their wrestling fans. So what happened was when that novelty went away of wrestling, they lost everyone, and everyone had gone over to the better product for wrestling fans. And I see that a bit in F1 when they go to places like Miami. It's purely for the passive fan, and people like us are like, what is this shit? I don't want to see this.
They got to justify the billions they've put into the 3 races. Well, not so much Austin. It's more Vegas to come, and then
we've had 5 races, and only Melbourne has been a traditional, like, historically significant track.
Yeah.
And everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
All right. Radio killed the Mexican star.
My God.
It has been revealed that during the Miami race on Sunday, Max had constant communication with his pit crew about the time and distance between him and Checo for the fight for P1. Yet Perez was given 0 airtime with no communication. Surely Red Bull are aware this would be public knowledge, or do they just not care and are playing favourites with Max? Evan.
It's very strange. By all accounts, they actually don't care who wins. I think that's. I don't trust that, but I've heard it from a couple of different journalists. But yeah, very strange.
Is that just Max's pit? Maybe it's Max's pit crew that's been.
Maybe Perez wasn't asking about it.
Tate?
Maybe Perez didn't care.
Yeah, Tate?
Or knew what was coming.
I don't know. I feel like Red Bull is trying to play the card as if they don't have favourites, but really they do. Like, how could you not? I mean, if I was Horner, and I'll try and be quick with this. If I was Horner...
You're both redheads.
He's already shown who his favourite is. Like, it's obvious. It's blatantly obvious the way he goes to battle for Max every fucking time. But I've never seen him go to battle for Chico.
Well said. Okay,
Chico.
So they just don't care whether you know it or not. Max is the favourite. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Downhill Alpine. Or downhill Alpine.
Oh my God.
It
thought it was bad enough for
Get
the
out.
Mexican ref.
Get out.
It seems...
We're going off-piste here.
Oh, nailed it.
It seems Alpine are on a downward trajectory from the comments made from the team this week. They feel that they really need to turn things around, or some changes need to be made. I'd argue, based on their results this week, they should actually be happy with where they are. Are they aiming too high, or is it fair to say they should be competing for the best of the rest? Ev?
No, as a team that has been very successful in the past with Renault, they should be aiming high. They're the only team that doesn't provide another engine for somebody else, so they should be able to focus on making the best platform for their own product, and they're not doing it, and they haven't done it in 5 years since they've been back. So yeah, weird and strange and bad.
Taylor?
I think the teammates' relationship isn't great. I think they're both. Yeah, I think they're both incredibly... I bet they've both got pretty crazy attitudes towards each other. And it's probably very hard as a collective, as a team in general, to be able to deal with two personalities that probably don't like each other.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess so we can finish there. Alpine are right for being upset with where they are. I guess I'm just so used to seeing Mercedes and Ferrari and Red Bull on top of them. So maybe it's more of a fact that if Aston Martin can do it, why can't they?
Yeah, just to continue that, I think no one probably expected Ferrari to be doing as poorly as they are, nor Mercedes to be still struggling. Yeah. So the idea of Alpine knowing that they have quite a competitive car, yet they're not getting the expected results based on where those other teams are.
Okay.
Yeah, like you'd be like, why aren't we doing better here for sure?
All right. Well, that's a great way to see out the end of this Miami review episode. We will be back in 2 weeks for the Imola Grand Prix. Are they doing a sprint for this one?
Yeah, Imola's a sprint, isn't it?
Imola.
Imola.
Did I just call it Imola?
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
Emilia,
did. That's why I was just following on.
Emilia Romagna. It's because I was reading the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I'm so as Romano, I was like Imola Grand Prix. Are they doing a sprint again this year?
They did last year.
Yeah, they did.
I
Are they
think
doing it again this time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I remember that being pretty average last year.
Yes.
But
Big
either
DRS
way,
train.
I remember Leclerc was doing well and he fucked up his race. He could have won last year. So maybe
that's
Ferrari will really fire in the next couple of weeks. Before we go, do you guys have anything you want to, push, promote, share with everyone? What's going on in your life? What you'd like people to think about when they leave? Nothing. Ev's candles. Tay's candles. Tay's.
Jesus
Christ.
Mike,
if you can't get it right.
My new competing company, Ev's Candles.
The Ev Lock Burners.
Yeah.
Oh, well, before we... Oh, no, there's no predictions. There's no races.
No predictions.
Go,
no lock of the week.
No.
So no lock of the week yet.
So will we be back to before Imola, or will we just come after the race at Imola?
I usually come after, but if you want to come before, that's fine.
That's a lucky girl.
I'm just looking in a lucky world. I will. Yeah, I can do week before. So we'll be back the week before to preview any of the ongoings coming into the Italy race. Thank you, Evan, Mr. Locke. Thank you, Mr. Scheuer, Taylor. It's been a great episode, and we will see you all. Thank you for having a listen. Please share and like and comment on all our socials. That's the best way you can support us, is just continue to engage with us and share around this podcast to anyone you think who might like it, or to punish anyone who would hate it. Either way, a play's a play. So we'll take it. So with that, I'll leave you with the music. See you, Tay. See ya. Bye.
Bye.